Hey man, this is Guns, Knives, and Watches, man. We gonna try to make this video again, man, because it's like, man, dude, nobody playing that there stereo real loud, man. But this is about the Power Cell, man. This there that there type phone, man, made by Power Bear, and it's an odd name to a company. And as I said on the other one, it always reminds me of that guy in Disney wearing that Bears Love Me shirt, and he was just on the bus, and we've always got a kick about that. It was just the weirdest thing, but the presentation, everything about the battery, the red color, of course, is really cool. The name, so whoever, somebody's pretty progressive who designed the thing, as far as marketing and as far as its performance, it does an extraordinary job. Now, this battery, of course, is a lithium ion. I picked this phone because it's easy to take in and out. And when you need another battery, you could just carry one and throw it in your pack. That was why we basically switched over to these S5 actives, that and their resistance to vibration, dust in particular, especially if you're around things that are extremely silty, can really screw up a phone. And that was one of the main things. Water resistance was cool, but I've never really needed anything to be like that. But it's an extraordinary product for me because it has given me 4 days of backup power reserve on this phone. Now, this phone, of course, is my backup phone. So that 4 days of extra power reserve is awesome. Now, it's not in heavy use. I didn't call out on it. I did not take it off of my Wi-Fi network because, I had 4 days where basically, I didn't have to go anywhere. But it's an extraordinary product. I've heard reviews. I've read reviews online that some people have had problems. Welcome to the real world. That's modern battery manufacturing. Anyone who has dealt with like the Samsung Note problem, where those batteries, even the remanufacture of the battery or whatever it was, still wound up and caused a problem. So this is a serious topic. Don't take these little lithium ion batteries for granted, because they will burn you, quite literally. They can burn down your house. They can burn up your car. They could take a plane out if everyone was very stupid, because modern aviation, their transfer rate is not as high as it used to be. It saves on fuel economy, this, there, or the other, and I can get into a lot of fluid mechanics, and I'm not going to. So it's an issue that you really need to take to heart, knowing what kind of battery and the reputation of the battery that you're actually getting. Don't just get some goofball shit. And when you have, you're taking things that are hard to take apart, like modern cell phones, given the, touch sensors and everything else. So you've got wiring connecting the screen on the bottom and the top. And if you don't have little oriental hands, they're hard to mess with, man. At least at their first couple of times, man. So it's something that you really have to take into account. And there has to be some type of trust. Now, this is my one sample of this. I'm not going to sit there and say, but from what I've experienced with this one company, and I'm going to start using their batteries in all of my rebuilds and all of my projects that are, related around a lithium ion, just so that I can get a bigger test bed. It seems to be a well thought out, well designed, and well manufactured product. At least this sample was. Now, lithium ion batteries. Let's talk about them real quick. When you charge one, they're not the same as NiCads. I typically, and this may not be the best plan, I typically charge mine, between 10 and to 90% all the time. I don't want to overcharge it, because overcharging it, lithium ions can be overcharged. So you have to be really mindful of that if you don't have them on a very smart charger, or if the smart charger in the phone or whatever else malfunctions. So some people charge their phones overnight. I tend not to, just because I understand how much power is in this little thing, that this is literally rocket science, and the chemistry behind it is amazing, the amount of storage capacity that these little suckers have. So don't ever take them for granted. You know, from the Note, from the, what the hell was that thing, the hoverboard, or whatever, those things with the 2 wheels. You know, it's something to take very seriously. This is Guys, Knobs, and Watches, and if your designer, if you're hiring a designer, and your designer shows up in a diesel truck that he has modified, fire that son of a bitch before you give him any money, because he can't be that creative. Oh, and I know engineering and everything else is, you know, you're ripping off ideas and you're doing things and this, that, or the other, and that's basically, and you're taking ideas and reapplying them, but design is not that it's not that way. This is Guns, Knives, and Watches, and wow. Seriously, don't give them any money. I've had to buy that lesson, and had to fire people and this, that, or the other, and not pick them up, and not do this and not do that. Wow. Side note, have a good one.